Okay, everyone, so welcome to the session from where we will just be practicing some basic commands in using the terminal or the command line in Kali Linux. So if you're familiar with the Windows operating system and you have heard of the command prompt, this is similar to the command prompt in the Windows operating system. And at some point of your career in the tech industry, you will encounter the need for you to go and maximize the use of the command line. That's why I want to familiarize you and practice with you some of the basic commands that you will need to go and navigate and execute specific applications in your operating system. Especially here in this case, guys, we will be using Kali Linux, which is an operating system that is quite popular with cybersecurity enthusiasts and cybersecurity professionals. May they be people who are aiming to get into the offensive security or the red team to become part of the red team that are involved into penetration testing, or people who are interested in getting a job as a penetration tester, or people who are aiming to get a job in the defensive security, which is focused on acquiring a job as a member of the blue team that is going to be focused with acquiring a professional career as a security analyst. So even if you're a web developer, a programmer, at some point you will encounter the need to go and use the terminal, especially if you're going to be using version controls such as Git. So something that I just want to emphasize here, guys, at first this can be intimidating because we will just be using a black screen, and then we will be using commands for us to be able to navigate and execute and move from one directory to another directory and to open some of our files here. But don't worry, guys, as we go along and you get to practice the use of the terminal, this will be more easier for you in the long run. So just practice, 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 practice. That's just my reminder, guys. If you really want to get better at a certain skill, practice is the best key. And of course, never lose the interest to continuously learn. Okay. So we will be maximizing the use of the CLI or command line interface. So it will be different from the graphical user interface or GUI. You might have heard this already. GUI means graphical user interface, from where we go and try to execute applications and move around our directories by using our mouse button here through the use of some images or icons that are present in our desktop or inside of our window here. You would see that you just go and click on one directory here, and it will be redirecting you to another folder, and and it will be showing you some of the contents of that folder. So if we are going to use the command line, we will need to go and navigate to a certain directory by using commands. The very fundamental concept in using the command line, guys, is that we are always inside of a folder, and we use certain commands to move around the folder structure so that we can go and create files, move, copy, and create folders or directories. And one of the most common command that you will encounter, let's say for example right now we are in a certain directory. As I've said, currently we are inside of a folder, and if we want to go and list the content of that directory, we can maximize and use the ls command here. And if I go and type here ls, which just stands for the list directory command, so if I go and press enter, you would see it's now showing me some of my files and directories in the current directory. Okay. So in Windows, it actually has a similar command in Windows, which is the dir. And in Linux, guys, you can also use the dir command for listing directories. Actually, if I go and type here dir, it will also work. If you're in the command prompt in Windows, this ls might not work, guys, but I suggest that you go and try to check it out. So if I actually open here the command prompt, because I'm using a hypervisor or a virtual machine, guys, you would see here if I go to the command prompt in Windows, you would see if I type here ls, it will not be recognized as an internal or external command or batch file. Okay. However, directory is the command that we used in Windows for us to be able to navigate using the command line. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that, guys. So again, guys, moving forward here, um, one of the most popular command that you will be encountering in your usage of the terminal or the command line interface will be the manual pages that will be introducing you to the different flags or options that are not immediately known once you go and try to execute them. Okay, these are some people will call them arguments, some people will call them flags. So at least you'll be familiarized with this. So when we say manual pages, guys, that just means that we just need to go and type man here. And if we want to go and find some of the flags or options that we can use by maximizing the use of the ls command here, we can actually just go and type ls, and this will open for us the different user commands and information and the different flags that are present that we can go and maximize and use in in listing the directory contents of our operating system here, of our system. So we can see here ls just means that it will be listing directory contents, and we have an option or the flags here, so we can type -a as one of the flag that will not be ignoring entries starting with the current directory or the character dot here. So you would see here that there are plenty of flags here. I would suggest that you go and check out the man command for each of the commands that we will be encountering in this session, guys, right now. So at least you will be able to read through the documentation. And it's really quite important that you go and try to get involved into reading, guys, and researching. Of course, if you're not familiar with a certain command, or if you're trying to go and do certain things, one of the advice that I always tell my students will be to go and maximize the use of researching, reading, and then asking questions as the last tip that I actually learned that from the development community or programming community, guys. So that's also something that I share to most of my students. So that's the ls command, guys, here. So let's go, and we can see your manual page will be showing you some of the other options or flags that you can go and use. So if we go and type ls plus dash a here, it will be showing us more options or another display of different content. So let me just go and quit here. And another command that I just want to show you here is the clear command that will be clearing everything on the screen, guys. So if I go and type ls and one of the flags that we have seen in the manual page -a, you will see that it listed more content inside of our directory, our current directory. Okay, so if I go and type ls-la, you would see here it listed more files, and each of the commands here are, or each of the content here has more details that contains information about the directory, and letter D here just means directory. Here we have read, write, acts, and executable permission. Here will be the user group and other people who are using this machine, and currently we are logged in as the user Kali. So we can also see here that if we are the root user, and we have here the information, guys, for files. So the dash here in front just means that this is a file, okay? And the D here in front just means that this is a directory. So let me just go down here and clear this, guys. Now, if you want to go and change directory, you will need to go and use the cd command. So cd, then let me just go and ls here. And if I want to go to the documents directory, guys, I just need to go and type cd, then type capital D, okay, O, C, and I can go and quickly press on the tab key and you would see that the terminal will be automatically identifying here what are the directories that contains those three key character letters, and that would be the documents here, and it automatically generated for us the path from where we can go and use to navigate to that specific folder. So that means cd plus the name of the folder that you want to go and get into. So in this case, I just want to go to the documents and then tab key. That's a quick way for you to autocomplete. And once I press on the enter key here, you would see now that we are directed here, that we are in the current directory named documents. Okay. If we want to go and move up in the folder structure, we will need to go and use the cd dot dot here to move one up. So that means I will be able to get back to the first directory here from where most of the files that I have are located. So if I go and type that, you would see I was able to go and get back to this directory from where we started. So guys, just take note, if you want to go and know the current directory, you can actually go and use the pwd command, which will be printing the working directory. So right now we are at the directory path of the home directory and the user Kali user. Okay. And again, guys, if you want to go and read more about the different options, you just need to go and type man plus the command, and you would see here. So we can see here that the cd command doesn't have any manual pages for the change directory command here. Let me just man clear, and there we go, guys. You would see that the clear command has the following options here. We have the clear the terminal screen. So again, guys, if the man command is really going to be very useful if you want to read more info, or if you want to go and read more about the different options that you have or different flags that you can go and use in using the command, that specific command. Okay, so moving forward here, guys, let's go and ls again, and let's see here if I want to go and try to concatenate some of the contents of a specific file, or let's say let's go and create first a file, and then let's put something or some text inside of that file. So let's go and first go and try to use the echo command. And if we go and type this, and then we type some text like, for example, hello, echo hello, you would see that the standard input here is the echo command plus the hello text that we typed here, and the standard output is the hello command that was displayed by our terminal here. So echo plus hello. Okay, so that's the echo command that is used for echoing back anything that we type on our terminal here. And again, if we want to go read more about the echo command, you can go and use the manual here, display a line of text. We have echo short option, echo long option. So I won't be going through all of the flags here, guys. I suggest that you go and try to look into them. Now, if we want to go and try to remove a specific new line, guys, in our terminal once we use the echo command here. Let's say I go and type echo hello, and I want to go and use the dash n flag. Okay, so let's see here, dash n, or I would want to go and display and echo the hello text here without a new line. So let's go and try to see what will happen if we go and try to do this. You would see here, guys, it displayed our hello text here without creating a new line, meaning the username here at rodprogramdev was not move one line down below the echoed text. Okay, so again, guys, flags are very useful, especially for certain options that you will be executing, or you might encounter in certain situations that you will need certain options specifically for a specific command. So I would suggest that you go and read more in the manual pages of each of the commands that we are encountering here right now. At some point, if you're going to be doing some penetration testing, or let's say navigating and finding some files in your operating system, or in your while using the terminal, guys, you will need to go and familiarize yourself with some of the flags or options that are present in the manual pages. Okay, so again, echo hello will just be creating the echoed text here that will be generating a new line and not similar to this one. Okay, now let's go and try to create a new file using the touch command here. So let's go and create a touch new, or let's say my new file.txt. So if I want to go and create a new file using the touch command here, so you would see here, if I go and do ls and look at the list here, we now have the new file.txt generated for us. Okay, and if, for example, we go and use the nano command, or we would want to run a text editor, we can actually use nano here to open this new file.txt here. Okay, and let's go and open new file.txt. So you would see here it actually opened nano here. So you would see here that nano is an editor that allows us to edit different types of files. So this is a Linux text editor, guys. So if I go and type here hello world, okay, and I'm going to save this. So I'm just going to go and Control X to exit. And I'm just going to save it by choosing the yes option here. New file.txt. Now, what I want to do is to go and display the content of the new file.txt that we have created here using the touch command. Okay, so touch command is used for creating a new file. Now we have opened that new file using the Linux terminal text editor, which is nano, and we added some text inside of that, and we would want to go and display the content of this new file.txt. So I'm going to use the cat command here for us to go and view the contents of the new file.txt file that we have here, so that it will be displayed on our screen. And there we go, guys, we now have hello world displayed by our terminal. So the cat command, guys, if we go and look at the manual pages for the cat command, it concatenate files and print on the standard output of our console here. So it will be displaying the content of the file on our console, or on our command line here. So let me just go and exit here. So another thing that I just want to go and run you through in this session will be the way on how you can go and run some binaries. Let's say, for example, you have downloaded a file, or you have created a new program such as a shell script here. Okay, so we can actually do this by using the full path to the binary, or by using the relative paths for the binary. Okay, so that means if, for example, I want to go and let's say I want to go and execute this file here, I will need to go and use the full. Let's first go and try to run the full path here. Let's first pw this, and we know that the home kali is the full path. So that means I'm going to need to go and type this home, and again I can use tab key, then kali, and then the current directory from where we would want to go and execute the file. So that will be here right now in the current working directory. So that means the shell script 1.sh. We know that this is a shell script because it has an extension sh here. And if I go and try to run this, discipline is the defining fire that turns talent into an ability. So that means, guys, if I go and open this with nano shell script.sh, you would see that I have a shebang declaration here and the echo command in my script that allowed us to go and print this out on our console or on our terminal using the echo command here. So we can go and write shell scripts, bash shell script, guys, if you want to go and automate some commands or list down some instructions to the terminal or to the operating system to execute certain commands based from certain tasks that you have on a daily basis, guys. So that's the full path, guys. And if we want to go and use a relative path, one of the things that you will need to type here will be the period character, which means it's the current directory. So if we type 2 dot dot here, that will be the directory before the current directory. And if we want to go and let's say, let me go to cd home, then let's go to music here. Oh, sorry, cd. We are already in the cd home. Sorry, guys. Kali, then music. And if I go there and if I want to go back to the user's home directory, meaning this Kali user here, the username Kali, and I want to go to the home directory, I just need to go and type cd dot dot to move forward. Let's just go and type this ls. So there's no directory here. Let's first go and type cd, then the tilde character. I believe that this is the tilde character. So if we go and change the directory, it will redirect us to the home directory of the Kali user here that we have. So if I go and type here or press on the return key or the enter key, guys. So by the way, the tilde character here, guys, is usually just on top of the tab key beside the number 1 character key on your keyboard. So you will see if I go and pw this, you will see we are now back in our home Kali directory. Okay, so let me just go and clear this one more time. So I'm hoping you're getting the idea here, guys. So if we go and ls this one more time, let's just go to cd my bash scripts here, ls. Okay, so these are some bash scripts. I'm just looking for cd subdirectory ls. Okay, so we have here some subdirectories here, guys. So if I go and cd same directory 3 ls, so we have this test.txt here. And if I want to go back to my home directory, again, guys, I will be using the command cd tilde then forward slash, and you would see it navigated us back, or it navigated our location back to the absolute path of the home directory. So that's a quick way for you to get back to the home directory. So if you want to go to the same directory here, and again, you will need to go and cd dot 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 dot. I think we were in cd dot dot subdirectory. Then we are using here a relative path, guys. So let's see here. So normally one way I'm doing for me to be able to verify that it's going to be working, it will be working for me, is that I use the let's see here, or let's say subdirectory here, then same directory 3 here, or let's see, 3. So that redirected us there. But I just want to go and show you here how we can go and cd dot, oh, actually it's not cd dot dot, guys. I think we can go and do this by using the forward slash same directory 3 here. So it's not showing us here how to do that. When I'm getting lost, guys, when I'm moving around some directories, one way that I really do it will be I just go and again, guys, do the ls, then look for the directory, then cd sub, then I just pressed on the tab key. Then I know that we have the same directory here and we want to go to the same directory here, so ls, and what I want to go and do is move up in the folder structure. So what I'm going to do here is cd dot dot, let's see if that this is same directory. Okay, so cd dot dot, it moved one directory up, cd same directory 3 here, cd dot 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 here, and you would see, guys, so that's the relative path of moving two directory up, moving up in the folder structure. So if I go and pwd this, we are now back in our home directory for the user Kali user. Okay, so let me just clear this. So this, guys, you're seeing here, sometimes you might encounter situations from where you are getting lost from the directories. So again, that's one of the ways that I usually do to navigate from one directory, from the current directory moving up to the folder structure will be, I usually maximize the use of the tab key just to make sure, especially if you're going to be using some other commands such as the mv command, from where you will be moving some files from one directory to another directory. Okay, it's really important that you go and make sure that you are using the command for you to move the directory or move the file from one directory by using an absolute path and the correct path, because sometimes you will lose some files, and I've encountered this at some point, guys. So just saying that you might lose some files if you make mistakes with the absolute path and the relative path. So one advice will be, of course, to be sure by using the absolute path of the directory from where you would want to transfer a specific file. Okay, guys, so let's just clear this just for you to avoid losing some files and you getting your your you getting frustrated by trying to look for that file. Where did I move this file? Because I encountered that before, guys, and I'm just giving you an idea here. Now, let's say, guys, I would want to go and copy a file. So let's go and ls this one more time. And I want to go and copy this new file inside of our subdirectory here. So let's perhaps use the cp command. So if I go and man cp, you would see here copy files and directories. So cp, then the option, and then the source directory here. Okay, source destination. Okay, so we have some arguments here or flags that we can go and use. We have mandatory arguments to long options are mandatory for short options too. So let's just go and run you guys on how you can go and try to transfer this. So new file .txt, I'm using the tab key to automatically complete auto completion of the file name. The good thing, the terminal's trying to identify the file name that we are trying to look for using that. Now, if I want to go and put it inside of the subdirectory folder here, so let's go and subdirectory and copy it inside of that. So let's see, ls. So the new file.txt is still here, and let's go and move to our subdirectory here, ls, And there we go. We now have our new file.txt here, right? So let's go to cd same directory 1 ls. Let's see here. There's no file inside of that. ls-la. So we can see here that we have the current directory and relative path directory here. So let's go and cd dot dot here ls. I would want to go and copy that new file .txt to same directory 1 tab key ls. So we still have the new file.txt here, and then let's go to cd. So practice makes perfect, guys. That's why I'm actually doing some repetitions here. Now, guys, we have the new file.txt here. And if I want to go and ls-a, you would see I'm listing the files in a single line here, guys. If I use the -a flag here or argument, if I LA, I'm listing it in a way that it's more readable with some more additional information here, guys. You would see. By the way, guys, the -a here will show us even the current directory and the directory that allows us to move one directory up. Okay, so um, so that's how you go and copy files from one location, from one directory to another directory. So let's go up here, ls. Now I want to go and move this new file to the same directory to here. So let's first go and clear our screen here, ls. And I want to go and cd to subdirectory, same directory to ls. So there's no ls-a, no file here, guys. So let me just go and use the relative path to our directory, home directory. I'm going to use the mv command to move the new file.txt to our subdirectory. By the way, guys, the / here is usually used for separating file systems or files. It is used as a separator for file system, guys. And that will be for both absolute paths and relative paths, guys. And it can also be able to, it is also used to represent the root directory, guys. So let's go to, I'm going to use the absolute path here, guys. We know that we have a same directory 2 here, and that's where we would want to go and move that new file. So let's first, again, pwd, we are at the home directory, ls. Now you would see that we no longer have our new file.txt here, and if we go and cd to our sub directory, ls, cd same directory to ls, there we go, guys. We now have our new file.txt inside of our same directory to folder. Okay, so let me just go back to our home directory here, ls clear. Another command that I just want to show you here, guys, is to move or switch from one user to another user. So that is the su command here. So let's go and check the manual page for that. So su run a command with substitute user and group ID. So su allows you to run commands with a substitute user and group ID, guys. So let's go and queue this. And if I go and concatenate or display the contents of this folder pswd here, so I just wanted to go and show you this directory, guys, the cat etc concatenate and then the etc password directory here, because this is going to be very useful, especially in penetration testing when you're doing your enumeration. Before, in the older versions, we would be locating here some of the hashes or password, but now that's no longer available in newer versions of Kali. You will see here we have the root user. So let's, and the variable here is the password X, the password for the that specific user, which is the root user. So Just take note, guys, the etc password file is the text file from where you will be representing. You will find some users in that specific machine. Okay, so that's why I wanted to show you this. And at the same time, I just want to show you here that we have some users already inside of this machine that I'm using, that I've already made. That will be the Kali user. So if you're wondering what's this format, guys, so we have here Rod, the second user that I have generated here. Then here, the X variable here is the password. Then the third line here, or the third set of characters here, will be the user ID. Here we have the group ID, and then here we have the GECO geckost, and then here's the home directory, guys. And here's the home directory. You would see home directory, the one that I showed you when we used the tilde command and the forward slash, home directory of Kali. And then here we have the login shell, which is the bin bash login shell. Okay, so let's go and clear this, and let's go and try to use the su command to switch user. So I'm going to switch user to the user that I've made here, which is Rod, and I have a password for him. So let's go and type that password, and let's see. Okay, I made a mistake with the password here. So su Rod. I think I remember the password that I used for this. So let me just, and there we go, guys. Sorry, guys. So we can see here, guys, that we now have the user Rod active. I'm currently in the home directory of user Rod, and if I go and ls this, I'm still currently at the home directory of Kali. So I would want to go and move to the home directory of Rod here. So as I've said, guys, if we ls this now, we are in, if we pwd this, we now have been redirected to the home directories of Rod. So you'll see there, guys. So if I go cd desktop, we don't have any files here. Cd documents, oh sorry, cd dot dot, cd documents. So guys, at least you're seeing here some of the mistakes that I'm making when I'm moving around the different folders and directories when I'm navigating. So at least you're getting the idea, general idea on when you're trying to go and move around your terminal and you're navigating to the different directories. Especially if you're doing enumeration, guys, this is going to be very useful. You looking for um, files and you getting into some capture the flag activities, guys. This is going to be quite useful, especially for accomplishing certain task, guys. So again, guys, if I go and use the tilde command here, cd tilde and forward slash, it redirects me to the directory of Rod. And if I want to go back to Kali, I'll just do the same process here. And there we go. And if I want to go to my home directory, ls, and there we go. We now have all of the files that Kali owns, or inside of the home directory of Kali. So perhaps that will be all for this session, everyone. And I'm hoping you learned a lot in this session and you got some ideas on how to maximize the use of the terminal for navigating and executing some files in Kali Linux terminal. And again, guys, as a reminder, an advice, if you really want to get better in anything or any skill, again, practice is the best way for you to become a master in any skill. That's why I'm highly encouraging that you practice and practice and practice and practice. And again, guys, doing a lot of research, reading, those are key skills that you will need if ever you would want to get into the cybersec industry, or let's say programming in general, or in the tech industry, guys. That will be just my advice. And if you're really serious in developing your skills, research, reading, practicing. Those are key things to remind yourself and inculcate into your discipline. And I'm sure you will be able to achieve your goal of improving your skill sets. So perhaps I'm just going to go and create another session or another lesson for some of the other commands that you might encounter while using the Kali Linux terminal in the next lesson that I'll be planning to create. So thank you everyone and see you on our next lesson.